ado, tonight's guest is a name that holds serious weight in the world of Louisiana country music. He's a two-time inductee into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, a powerhouse performer with a sound that blends country and southern rock, and he's a proud Baton Rouge native who recently stepped onto one of the most iconic stages in country music history, the Grand Ole Opry. But beyond the lights and the music, he's also become a steady voice of encouragement for up and coming artists across the region. Please welcome to the show my friend Chase Tyler.
What's up, buddy? Hey, thank you for having me, man. Yeah.
What's up, dude? How are you, man?
Doing well, doing very well. Very excited about this. And look, I got bourbon, so I'm supporting the Tigers as well as the festival. So we're good to go. What a great night!
I'm here with you, man. I'm here with you. I like to sip and talk whenever we do this.
That's right. Perfect. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you being on, man. It's been a while since I've seen you.
The show's great. Look, man. I just want to tell you, Ronnie, this is very, very awesome. I'm a huge supporter of Louisiana culture and music, and so what you guys have put together is phenomenal. So I really appreciate y'all for doing this. It's very cool.
Well, thank you, man. Without our artists and without the fans and all that, really what we are, we're just kind of the people crazy enough to spend hours and hours and hours putting it all together.
Takes a lot of time, right? It does.
Me and Alex, if you know that, Alex and I, we're both psycho. We just like dial in, and
that's what it takes.
But it's worth it, man. It's worth it, and it's really an honor for me, and it's fun for me to sit here every Tuesday night and talk to amazing artists and amazing people. That's what my favorite part about this show is. Our audience not only gets to see how great of an artist you are, but once we talk for a little while, they get to see that you're a great dude too. Right. And there's so many people across the state that are like that, man. So thank you and all the other artists for coming on.
Oh, I appreciate it, bro. It's an honor. Yeah.
Well, man, let's dive in. I said, you're from Baton Rouge area. You live in Watson now. I spent a lot of years in Baton Rouge myself. Tell us a little bit about growing up in that part of the state. Let's start without the music. What part of growing up in that part of the state shaped you as a person, as a human?
So growing up here, it's right outside of one of the big, the capital city, so, we're right on the edge of everything, and it's a giant melting pot. Okay. There's a lot of culture here. There's a lot of different culture and from, everybody says Louisiana, they think automatically white rubber boots and alligators right outside your front door. I didn't quite grow up like that. So, I'm right outside of Baton Rouge, a little bit more country than anything else. But I tell you, there's something different about this state. And I know that's, telling you that is like singing to the choir, but we have our own way. We have our own way. We have our own, our own way of doing things, of saying things, and speaking the way that we do. And I've always been very proud of that. And I think that's something that a lot of Louisiana people who are true to that really appreciate and hold dear, because it's something rare that you don't see. So growing up around this area right outside of Baton Rouge, it's always been very cool. We're very, very close to LSU football. We're very close to, we can be in Biloxi in an hour, so we can be at the beach. So I've been very blessed with where I come from and call home, and it's just been an amazing group of. I've had a phenomenal backing here, a lot of hometown love and support for me and my brand and my music and just music in general. So it's been quite the ride so far. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you do have a great support system there and a great fan base.
Yeah.
Before we get into music too, I always like to do this, man. Let's take a minute to talk about family.
Yeah.
Because that's important. Tell me a little bit about what it's like for you to be a husband and a dad, because that's more important than music.
I tell you, it's I wouldn't be where I am today if I wasn't a husband and father. They both have, my wife and daughter. My daughter's 13 now. She's almost 14. So that's a whole nother animal that I have to deal with on a daily basis. But my wife and I met, really before any music really had happened at all in Louisiana. I was traveling around and we'll get into music later, but we've been married for 16 years now. So she's literally been with me throughout the ups and downs of the entire industry, and it's a lot of ups and downs. A lot more downs, unfortunately, sometimes than ups, but
That's part of
somehow
it, isn't
we
it?
got through it. Yeah, yeah. So we've been together 18 years, married 16. So it's a blessing. It really is to have her by my side and to have that strong family dynamic because she knows just as much as the music business as I do at this point. So it helps me out tremendously. It
if,
does.
you, if you're like us, with every year that passes, we know less and less about it. I think
Well, I
we're
know
all
what
figuring it
not to
out.
do, if anything else. I know the potholes for sure because
Well,
I've fallen into all of them at some point or another. But
yeah, yeah.
look, it's a business like any other, and sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's bad. But at the end of the day, I just love it. I love the background of it. I love what it represents for our state. I love singing and entertaining. So it really, really, it's very, very cool. I have one of the best jobs in the world.
I saw your daughter on Facebook on one of your posts out there throwing out the boots on the bayou hats from the stage
Yes.
with you, and I was a little jealous, man. You got to save me one of those.
Oh man,
I was like, I
absolutely.
got to get
Yeah.
me one of those hats. But that was a cool
Absolutely.
moment, though, man, to have her
I
out
love
there,
when
huh?
when she's old enough now that she can go to fairs, festivals, and things like that with us and be backstage. And whenever I can bring her on stage and do things, I'm hoping that's some kind of a memory for her. We have a lot of pictures, but I want her to look back in years to come and go like, wow, that was a lot of fun. And I really appreciate my dad, and that was very. I want her to see me as cool. I'm the cool dad that can bring her on stage. Not everybody gets a chance to do that.
Yeah,
I just hope she enjoys it and looks back on it fondly.
yeah. Good luck with that, man. I don't know.
It's hard.
I don't know
Well,
what you could do to be cool for a 13-year-old. They're not impressed by much, are
that's the
they?
truth. That is absolutely the truth. Yeah.
But you do what you
Gosh,
can. That's right.
it's worse
Well,
too.
well, man, I remember you coming up in Baton Rouge whenever I was still hanging around and all of that,
Yeah, absolutely.
still around town. Let me turn this thing on. Okay. Um, what what made you decide that you wanted to jump into this crazy world and become a country music artist?
I tell you, it wasn't so much that I decided; it was kind of decided for me. Just a quick little backstory. When I was 17, so my mom and dad met when playing music. They met. My grandparents played music. Their grandparents played music. So it's always been in my family ever since I was a little kid. So I knew that I really kind of liked singing and enjoyed it. When I was 17 years old, I was kicked out of high school. I was arrested and
Wow.
expelled from Denham Springs High School for smoking marijuana in the parking lot. I should not have done it. It's completely my fault, and I tell everybody that, but it happened. None the same, right? So I'm 17. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I liked singing at the time, and I was just trying to figure out if I even wanted to do music or what the deal was. Lo and behold, a friend of a friend knew of a show that someone was looking for. They were holding auditions in Branson, Missouri, for a specific part, and they're like, "You ought to go. You can sing. You can move. You ought to go audition." And I got the part. So I ended up moving to Branson, Missouri, and I
Wow.
spent almost 3 years in Branson doing stage shows and performing. And I tell everybody that Branson was my college. That's where I learned to perform and sing harmonies and really, really give it my all on stage. And that still shows, I think, to this day, and in my performances. And I credit Branson for all of that because I got to hang out. I was in Mickey Gilley's show for a little while, Mo Bandy, those legends, man, and I got to watch what they do. And ultimately, it wasn't my dream to stay in Branson forever. I wanted to do my own music, do my own show, be my own person. So I came back home to Louisiana and started a band for 6 or 8 months, and it was just terrible. We could not get booked. We could not do anything. There was nothing. I didn't know how to do any. At this point, I'm 20 years old. I'm just trying to. Where do you go? What do you do? Uh, Lo and behold, I got another call for another stage show in New York. So I got into off Broadway for about 6 months. So I left the band. I left Louisiana. I didn't know what I was going to do. Trying to still figure everything out. Ended up in New York off Broadway for about 6 months in a show there, and that was a learning experience in its own because I'm from Louisiana. You know, I don't do New York very well. Nothing against New Yorkers. Okay, it's just it was a learning curve for me. So again, I still wasn't doing my own music, my own show, my own thing. The next step was go to Nashville. That's where you have to be. If you want to do country music, you got to go to Nashville. So I moved to Nashville and I turned 21 in Nashville. And it was probably the worst experience I've ever had in my entire life, living in Nashville for 1 year. I went broke. I was trying to make ends meet just to live, to do anything musical. And I got stopped for running a stop sign. This was the turning point for me, that Nashville was not for me at all. I ran a stop sign and I got pulled over, and it was a female cop, and she popped me with 8 different violations on my truck. So illegal tint, no seat belt, running a stop sign, like 8. They ended up making me walk home. And it was on the walk home that I called my mom. I'm like, I'm out. I'm sorry. The dream is over. I can't do it. Like, this is terrible. You know what I mean? It's just terrible. So I came home to Louisiana and I started a band, and that's history. That's where I've been ever since.
Dude, that explains a lot, man. I never knew that about you. Not the getting pulled over and having to walk on part. The performing part. So let's go back to Branson, man, because that's interesting because number one, you mentioned Mickey Gillies, another Louisiana guy, Fairleigh, Louisiana.
Absolutely.
And then it's funny you mentioned Mo Bandy because my cousin, who's from Wisner, Louisiana, plays keys for Mo too. So there's 2 Louisiana connections there. So 2 Louisiana connections there that. But man, that's interesting because one of your strengths, I would say, is your stage presence, and that makes sense that you kind of got your chops at an early age. I like how you put that, like kind of your college.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't know what to do. School was over for me at 17. That was it. There was nothing I was going to do past that. I was expelled. I didn't know what to do. So I got into music, and I put all of my effort into that. And in moving to Branson, they literally, I mean, I was as green as the grass. They taught me everything, to dance, to entertain, to, sing harmonies, sing backup, sing lead, do this. And I mean, it's a stage show. You have to perform. That's what people come there for. And I was in several different shows. I ended up in a morning show, a matinee show, and a night show. So there were a lot of, look, it was some of the greatest musicians, some of the greatest people, and performers. And it was a phenomenal experience for me and time in my life that I look back on and thank God that I did that, because it makes a difference today for me.
Yeah, I would say, because I've spent much more time in Nashville, but I have spent time in Branson. And I've never really thought about this until now, but I would say that Branson probably gets you more prepared for a stage presence than Nashville, because a lot of Nashville is sitting on a stool playing, a lot of it, songwriter shows and all that. Branson is a show. Everything they do is a show.
Correct. No, it's costume changes. There's lights. That was my first real taste of sound and movement on stage, and just changing costumes and going from scene to scene. And I did country shows. I mean, I did Americana shows. So I had a very wide range of music thrown at me in a very small amount of time that you have to learn. You have to sing to. You have to sing harmonies. You have to figure all that out as a group. So we had a group dynamic. It was very, very much a learning experience that I just appreciate now, because it taught me so much in a very short amount of time. That sometimes takes years and years for other people to learn. I was kind of fast tracked through the shows in Branson.
That's interesting, man. That's why I love doing the show, because it's almost every week I learn something about people that I've known, semi-known for a long time.
Absolutely.
But I didn't know that about you, and that's awesome, man. And I also learned tonight that if you smoke marijuana in a parking lot, you can get promoted. Like,
it's legal practically.
Now kids are hearing what kids are hearing is like, wait a minute, I don't have to go to school anymore, and I get to go sing. Heck yeah, that's cool.
So it took, look, that was
Don't do
that was,
drugs, kids.
that's right. Look, that was a very low point in my life, kids. So stay in school. I was going down the wrong path. I mean, ultimately, I was going down the wrong road at that point, and I'm glad it happened because it changed. And what's funny, and it's this is a little side, funny note. The officer that arrested me, do you know singer Clifton Brown here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
I know of him.
His drummer is the police officer that actually put the handcuffs on me. He and I now joke about that when we see one another because look, that set me on a whole different path in life. Okay, had that not have happened, there's no telling where I would be right now. But I really appreciate Officer Paul Goldman for doing his job, and he did what he did, and I appreciate. Maybe that's why I'm here today.
Funny enough, man, I won't get into it, but I've got a story where I had a conversation with a cop one
Yeah.
evening, and about 2 years later, we were hanging out with some friends, and he was like, "Wait a second, man. Do you remember so and so and so?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Dude, that was me."
Oh wow.
But I ended up making some kind of funny joke. And he was like, "Dude, whenever you made that joke, I knew that I had to let you go." he was like, I was trying not to laugh so hard, but I was like, "That's a good one."
That's a good one.
So,
See, you never know.
we got our buddy JP over here. He said, "Open it up for you next weekend. Can't wait to watch y'all play." Put it on the screen right there.
Okay, so that's I think JP's gonna be playing with us at the La Rose French Food Festival.
Yeah.
In La Rose, Louisiana. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. We're going to close that out Saturday night. That's going to be killer. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to
JP runs all those streets down there, down the bayou, man. You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
you gotta keep an eye on him. Him and his crew are wild down there.
Absolutely.
So we'll move on in a second.
Yeah.
But so you were talking about in Branson doing all these different types of music. What type of music was playing when you were growing up?
So I grew up on 90s country. It was hardcore, George Strait, Garth Brooks, Tracy Lawrence, and that has always been my heart and soul. And look, music is I'm very eclectic. Okay, I love all kinds of music. Don't get me wrong. I love a little bit of Zydeco and Cajun and everything in between. But my roots are always and will be country. It's just where I come from and what I loved, and that's what I love to sing. And we do a little bit of our show on stage now is a little variety mixed in with our originals, and we kind of play to the crowd and do a little bit of everything. But ultimately, 90s country is where I live and what I'll always call home. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
And I've now gotten to open for some of the people that I used to listen to on the radio back. So that's been a very special thing for me growing up to that music.
That's always a cool thing, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm proud that you've been able to do that.
Yeah.
Man, you stay busy. I was telling our buddy Dustin Sonia over in Lafayette a couple of weeks ago. He stayed like both of you guys keep your calendars full, man. Y'all are burning at both ends.
We try.
What is it about the live shows that you just love so much?
Man, I love performing to people. So I have we have a great fan base, and I know that I'm from a blue collar community, okay, and I know these people work very hard for their money. So when they spend it on me to come and see a show, I will give them, whether it's 10 people or 10,000, they're going to get the same show. So I've always appreciated playing to people, and I appreciate people coming to see me, no matter how big or how small the show is. Somebody you paid your money to get in, you're going to get your show. And I've just always appreciated the fact that people still come out and see us to this day. And I love meeting and getting to talk to people. And that's always a downside is we play a lot of shows. So sometime next weekend we play 3 shows in a row, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So it's going to be a lot of moving parts in and out, in and out. So I don't get a lot of time to sit and talk to people like I wish I have. But playing for these people that spend their hard-earned money on us to perform, it's always been a blessing for me.
Yeah, I don't think people understand that. I mean, man, those live shows are work. It's especially when you're doing it, and that's why I'm kind of pick with y'all, but I mean, you really are burning at both ends whenever you do
Yeah.
that many. When you keep your calendar as busy as you guys do,
Absolutely.
It's a lot of hard work behind it, and sometimes late nights and
Oh, yeah. Early mornings, late
early
night,
morning.
flat tires, breakdowns, bad cables, all of that comes with it, man.
It's
Absolutely.
not quite as glamorous as you see on TV all the
No. And people see what's on stage, but
time.
to get to that one stage is hours and hours and hours of hard work and labor. And yeah, but look, I wouldn't change it for the world. Okay.
That's
Don't get
right.
me wrong. So I love every second of it.
That's
Even-
right, dude. I'm looking at some comments. April says, "Love Chase Tyler band." Yolanda says, "My favorite Louisiana band,
Yolanda's
Chase
a
Tyler
sweetheart.
band."
She's a huge fan. Thank you, Yolanda.
Yeah, she says that's true. Been to shows where he may have been 15, where it may have been 15 people, but he played his heart out. Like
That's
it was a
right.
room full. And then Christian Lance says, "I feel like Chase will play one tonight." I don't. That's up to Chase. That's up to Chase. Sometimes people play one at the end. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys.
We'll set that up for another time. But,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not prepared, but yes, I will.
Okay.
I would love to.
That'll work. That'll work. There's more comments on here. They're rolling in, but I'll get back to so they can hear some more. But speaking of performing, you recently joined John Foster on the Grand Ole Opry stage, which was really cool. We shared that on our news section of here, our news segment of here, and we were really proud of you for you for that. What was that experience like?
Man, it's going to sound cliche, and I know this, especially coming from an artist, but there's something legendary about that stage. You know, when we got there early for sound check and all of that fun stuff, and John and I got to walk out on stage and stand in the circle and take pictures and just be there. I literally just stood there and stared for a few minutes in the circle because there's a different feeling when you and maybe it's just in my head or whatever, but there's history when you step on that circle and you know that who has stood there and been a part of this industry. It's really it takes you back. It takes you for a second. It really does. And there's a feeling like no other. That's just, man, that was a bucket list. It really was. And I can't thank John and his team enough for allowing me to come do that. You know, it was phenomenal.
How were your nerves? Were you like?
I was very nervous. I had a lot of people, hometown people. You know, I had aunts, uncles, cousins, and they flew up and they drove up. And so I had a lot of people there just to see me stand on stage, you know. So it was heartwarming, you know, just to look out and see the crowd and be a part of the Opry band is just some of the best musicians that I've ever seen in my entire life, you know, and it's mind boggling to just see how they go through their process. And it's just very easy for them, it seems, you know, but it's, backstage is its own vibe, all of the dressing rooms and things like that. And you could just walk around, and I saw Dolly Parton's dressing room, and to see all the history that's backstage, the pictures and the memorabilia that they have on the wall. I could spend a full day just looking backstage, you know, let alone what's happening out front. So it's an experience.
Yeah. The reason I was asking about the nerves, I always like to hear those stories. I've got a buddy who played AAA baseball for a long time, and he got called up, and he's playing in Yankee Stadium, and Rivera's pitching to close out the game, and this and that. And he's playing for the Blue Jays, and anyway, he got a hit off Rivera.
Wow.
Yeah, which is wild in itself. But I asked him, I was like, dude, whenever you were standing in that batter's box in Yankee Stadium, were you nervous, or were you like, man, this is my job, this is what I do?
I got this.
Yeah. Hell no. I was wondering, do they know why am I here? he was like, who put me out here? Did they know?
That's exactly right.
So he was like, my stomach was just turning. He was like, I didn't. He was like, I wasn't cool at all.
I wasn't cool at all.
So I always like to hear people's perspective in those moments like that.
Man, it's a feeling like no other. It is. I know exactly how he feels. Trust me. But it's phenomenal.
That's what he said. Like, insane thing. He's like, man, I've been up to the plate 1,000,000 times. Like, you've been on 1,000,000 stages. But he was just like, for that one, it was just different.
Just different. There's something about it, man. There's history there that can't be captured anywhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a cool moment, man. so many young, talented kids coming up like John.
Yeah.
You seem from the outside looking in, like you've sort of naturally taken I'm not going to call you old here, but
No, I'm
you've kind
old.
of
No, you can
you,
use it. No, I wear it proudly. No, I'm the
you've
old
kind
guy.
of taken the elder statesman role, and the fact that you seem to be very respected by the up and comers in that region. Is that mentor or I'm here if you need me role something that you have consciously done to try to help other artists?
I think I think Ronnie, I think I've just been around for so long that I get a lot of phone calls, text messages, Facebook messages from people that I might have heard of that are just starting out. And basically, a lot of the question is, where do I go? What do I do? I can sing, I can play a little bit, I want to get into music. What do I do? And I kind of just try to guide them and basically I just tell them what I did. Here's what I did, okay? And it may work for you, it may not, but this is where you can start at least. And I get a lot of text messages from people that have bands currently, and they're like, how do I get into this venue? How do I get into this fair or this festival? So you playing at Texas Club. I see you're playing at this festival. What do I need to do to get there? I just look, man, when I was coming up, there wasn't a whole lot of camaraderie there. I felt like, and I'm an open book. If you have a question, I have no problem with telling you. Some people feel differently about that and will kind of keep it to themselves. And I was just never that way. It was just not my purpose. So I don't mind helping somebody out. It's just I like to see other people succeed, and there's enough gigs, especially in Louisiana, to go around for everybody. So I just never wanted to be selfish about anything, and especially now with this, we have a great group of young, talented Louisiana people coming up. These
Yeah.
guys, and girls are just phenomenal, and it's really cool to showcase Louisiana, and I'm just proud to be a part of that because I've become now really, really good friends with people like Wayne Toops, who kind of
Yeah.
has taken me and been like, hey, here's what and so I'm still learning from that aspect, and people are trying to learn from me, and so I'm just part of that generation that I'm just trying to help out where I can and what's needed. I was a singing. John Foster was in a singing competition 3 years ago that I judged, and that's how we first met. And he wanted to be a singer, and I think he was 16 or 17, and I just happened to
Yeah.
be a judge at that competition. And we've kind of stayed in touch over the years. And I mean, now he's just everything in Louisiana, and just climbing everything with a bullet. And he's such a great, great guy that's the kind of people you want to really succeed because he's doing well and he has no problem with giving back to his community and his people that helped him. And so I really appreciate it. But people like that, man, it's just you really want to see succeed because they deserve it.
Yeah, we appreciate that mindset that you just described as far as opening up and trying to help others and not
Yeah,
trying to hoard your shows and this and that.
right,
Because
right.
really, if you think about what we're building here with Louisiana country music, that's really the underlying foundation of what we're doing is trying to build this community where we all work together more and more and more. Because not only we're not trying to pave the way for people to only go from Louisiana to Nashville, we're trying
Yeah,
to pave the way for people to even go from region to region.
right. That's
Because
right.
that's a lot of people don't
You have to
know in
build that
Louisiana.
fan
It,
base.
it, it
Yeah,
can be hard to go from region to region. You could be very
absolutely.
popular here and go here and nobody knows you. I mean, and that's
If
one of the
people
things
don't
that
know
our
you,
goal.
they can't they don't want to come see you, and that's just the cold hard fact. It's very
Mhm.
difficult for you as an artist to go somewhere outside of your comfort zone. But listen to this song, and they're like, I've never heard it. I don't care. You have to build that following and that fan
Mhm.
base first.
And
I'm a true believer.
and that's what I love about this show that we've been able to do, and that's why it's so important that we get guys like you on the show every week because we've got people who tune in every week and they're starting to discover new artists in different regions. So whenever you go, I'm hoping in a year from now, all these artists will be able to cross regions, and we'll be
Network.
able to play 3 shows with you in a Thursday,
That's right.
Friday, Saturday run, and And
That's
then,
right.
like we'll be all over the place. And it's a win for everybody. It's a win for our fans, the
Absolutely.
venues, everybody, man. So we're really excited about that opportunity. And we love that mindset of
It's
giving
great.
back.
Look, and I think that's how, and look, maybe we can pass that off to, other states and have everyone kind of working together. Obviously, that's the goal, and I think Louisiana is very special because our artists are amazing. And I think, what you guys are doing, stuff like this, we need more of. So this is a killer platform. So, yeah,
Well, thank you,
absolutely. This is
brother. Thank you for that, man. Two-time inductee into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. Not just one time. They two time. Just so
so
the audience hears that. What does that mean to you?
Man, the very first time it happened was a surprise. I was unaware of it, and it just kind of was like, look, so it's a future famers category. When they inducted me, I think it was in 2011, the first time, they were like, look, we appreciate what you're doing for Louisiana culture, music, and the entertainment industry. We know that you are going to be somebody, that we look up to one day, and on and on. And so they gave me the award, and I'm like, well, even if I get nothing else ever in my entire life, I've cemented something. My name means something to someone at some point. And then in 2019, I was officially inducted again for the second time. Me and Hunter Hayes, from what I'm told, are the only two people that have been inducted twice. Possibly Amanda Shaw, maybe a third inductee. I'm not 100% sure, but at that time, I think it was Hunter Hayes and I that were the only two that had been inducted twice. But I think it was just, I think they, this was right before COVID, right? So I was inducted at the end of 2019, and then the beginning of 2020, the world started shutting down. So, man, it went from the highest high to the lowest low. I mean, just that. But that's a whole nother podcast. Trust
Yeah.
me, everybody went through that. But it was such an honor to be recognized by the state that I love so much, and I've always wanted to come back to Louisiana and build my own brand, and that was always a goal for me. Living in Branson and New York and Nashville, I love, this is home. Louisiana is my home. So I've always wanted to come back here and do something, for my people here. And this is where I'll die. This is it. I may travel other places, but this is home.
Nothing wrong with that, man. We were
Uh,
having a discussion the other morning with some of my friends over at Explore Louisiana, and we were talking about Louisiana and just what makes it unique. And I said, people ask me when I travel, like, what makes Louisiana different? And I said, well, a lot of states are like strip malls,
yeah.
and Louisiana's like that neighborhood bar.
That's
Like,
right.
you walk into Louisiana, it's kind of like everybody, and they kind of already know what
Absolutely.
you're drinking, and they're
Absolutely.
going to give you some good food and take care of you. And that's kind of my description of the what
That's so
Louisiana's
true,
like.
man. That's so true. No, that's absolutely the truth. Yeah, there's a vibe here for sure that no one else can match.
Well, a lot of people, and going real quick before we get off the two-time Hall of Fame, a lot of people don't know that the first time was for singing, and the second induction was for yodeling. A lot of people don't know that.
I'm a very accomplished yodeler.
A lot of
No
people
one
don't know
knows
that, so I
about.
just
Yeah.
wanted to.
I can
That's
yodel in my bathroom like
that.
nobody's business, right?
That's a joke for the people on there, because you never know. People will be like, tomorrow they'll be like, man, did you know Chase is a yodeler? Somebody will ask you that. If I don't say that's a joke, somebody will ask you to yodel this weekend.
Oh, that's funny.
So
That's
you
funny.
might be able to pull it off, though. You never
You
know.
never know. You never know. I've never tried, so it's I'm all for it. Step outside my comfort zone.
Shifting gears a tad bit, man. We were talking about this a little bit before we came on air. There's a lot of towns and regions throughout Louisiana and really everywhere where live music seems to really be like fighting for its life. And I know it's not easy in Baton Rouge, but you guys are doing well from the outside looking in the Baton Rouge region. What are you guys doing in Baton Rouge with like the Texas Club and some of these other things? What do you think that you guys are doing or that you're blessed with or whatever that live music seems to be really thriving right now when it's not in other places?
So for specific places, like the Texas Club is a legendary venue. It's been open since 1982. George Strait has played there. You know what I mean? It's just been
Yeah.
one of those. It's the thing with the Texas Club is it's great for two purposes: that people that are on their way up and people that have been there and have kind of the 90s country artists and stuff that have kind of started to calm down a little bit, aren't doing the stadiums, and it's perfectly placed. It's not far off the interstate. So things like that, man, the Texas Club has just been amazing for local artists and up and coming artists as well as a stopping point along their tour. So it's amazing place to see live music, and it's big. It holds 1,500 people. So
It's
they've
insane.
just it's insane. No, it's a phenomenal venue, and it's one of the largest dance floors in the South, and we've been blessed to stay a part of it. I I've just became I became really good friends with the owners early on, and we've been blessed to have a great group of musicians, a great following with us, and that's the biggest thing. Ultimately, every business needs patrons. So it doesn't matter how great your band is, if people aren't coming to that establishment, it's just not going to work out. It's been very difficult ever since COVID. It's changed the landscape tremendously. People are staying home more. They're on social media more than they do, than it used to be. Everybody would go out and have fun and just enjoy it. Now everybody's kind of on their phones and in their own world. Everybody's filming something to some extent or another. So it's harder to get people to come out and actually pay attention to a live band, no matter how good they are. I've heard amazing musicians and bands that are playing to five people, and it's just insane to me why that is. I wish I had a better answer, other than the fact that in Louisiana we have a lot of fair festivals, and we have a festival for everything. Any kind of fruit, any kind of anything that swims or flies, we have a festival for that very thing. And we've been really blessed to get in early on that. And if a lot of people don't know this, this is a great starting point. The LAF convention, Louisiana Fair and
Mhm.
Festival Convention, has been phenomenal. We've done it for 3 or 4 years, and it's a great starting point for bands that are on their way up. And it's a great way to get in front of a lot of those fairs and festivals that you would not be able to get in front of without it. So that's a great platform for artists to come in and try to figure that out. And they're just politicking from there. Um, a lot of venues, a lot of things have taken a hit ever since COVID. So you see, bar rooms that are changing owners and things like that. It's very tough on everybody, and the live music scene has been very difficult. You either have to grow with it or just flame out, and it's tough. It's very hard, and some people just can't weather the storm. So I like to think that maybe I've just been able to hold out longer than some people is the only reason that I've been able to survive. But it's a shame because there used to be a thriving every single Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There was live music somewhere, and that seems to be less and less each year. So it's sad.
Yeah, and hopefully that'll change, man. Hopefully that's one of those things that's cyclical and people kind of come back
Absolutely,
to it. Um,
absolutely.
I think it says a lot about you as a person, as an artist, and your band and everybody too. Because even tonight, we've got 33 people who are on here. They could be doing anything that they want to do on a Tuesday night,
That's right.
but they're on here listening. They're not listening to me. They're listening to you and listening to your story.
No,
And I think that says a lot about you, though. And I think that that's probably one of the reasons that you're packing out shows and stuff like that is because you've built that following over the years, and they feel like they know
yeah.
you and they want to support you.
I think people that understand that have seen us in shows before, they know what they're going to get. They know that they're going to get high energy, a lot of fun experience, and I think that if you can stay consistent with that. And I add to our show. We add lights, we add speakers. I now have a crew of 3 guys that go ahead of us and set the stuff up. And we've been lucky enough to be sponsored by one of the best, car dealerships in the entire
Jerry
state.
Lane. It works
Jerry,
because I already knew. I already knew who
yes,
you were
Jerry
sponsored by.
Lane.
That's how you know it's
Shout out
working.
to Jerry Lane. That's right.
That's how you know
Just
it's
a
working.
shameless plug, right?
I jumped in front of you to prove to them that it's working.
I appreciate it. Yes.
Uh,
But having those guys and that kind of stuff on my side has really been tremendous for me and my band, and has allowed us, even through COVID, to stay viable and stay, in the game. More to say.
yeah.
Tough. It's tough out there.
I love your shows, man. I don't even know if you remember this, dude. I don't even know how long it's been. It's been years, but it was over at Panola Woods in Faraday, Louisiana, and I went to like a little Mardi Gras party or something. And I just went, and
Yeah.
I didn't even know what I was walking into really, and I just went, and they were like, "Man, we got this guy. He's killer in here. He's crushing it, and this and that." And I walked in, and it was you just in your band in there, just crushing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, he's killing it. That's what he does."
You never know where we'll pop up, man.
It was Faraday, Louisiana, at Panola Woods. It's probably, man, it might have been 10 years ago at this point. It's been a minute.
That long?
It's been a minute, dude. But it was it was a small, probably like 50 to 100 people, but they were getting hammered and they were loving it.
Sometimes those small parties, man, sometimes they're the best. We played in front of 100 people that was better than playing in front of 1,000 that just could care less. I would rather that all day. Would rather that.
That's right, man.
That's
So I was telling Blake Griffith, I don't know if you know Blake. He's a great songwriter from up in Grand Cane, Louisiana.
Okay.
Population 240. Yeah. So when we were talking about his wife earlier, he said he's been married for a long time too. And he said, and I said, well, she don't have a lot of options. There's only 240 people. So yours at least has more options. So she's been, so you're at least doing something because
absolutely. She had her
he said, yeah. He said, yeah, I didn't think about it like that. There's not a lot of options out of 240. But Blake's done sort of the same thing, man. He has not really lived in Nashville. He goes a lot and all that, but he's really made a name for himself in Grand Cane, a small town of 240 people, as a name. And that's hard to do, man. And you're one of the people that's been able to do that, is to make a true name for yourself in the industry without being in Nashville full time. What do you think that, number one, what do you think that kept pulling you back to Louisiana? And what is the advantage of you being here? Because we know the advantages of being in Nashville, but what do you think is the advantage of being here?
Technology nowadays has progressed in so much. So here's the thing. I was going back and forth to Nashville earlier on in my career. When I came back home, I knew that, in order to record, in order to try to get songs played on the radio, you have to have Nashville connections, right? You have to have that kind of that's where the magic happens. It just is. Yep. Okay. That's just where it happens. Now, I mean, we're in 2025. Technology has progressed enough to where you can literally write a song, send it to Nashville, have Nashville musicians play on it. They send it back to you, and you do your thing. It's very funny because I have a lot of places that will announce me as Chase Tyler, Nashville recording artist, blah, blah, blah. I've never recorded a single word in Nashville. My entire career, I've never recorded in Nashville. I even living there, I couldn't afford to record anything or do anything musical. There was no way. So I think economically coming back to Louisiana and realizing that there are several phenomenal studios, musicians, engineers here in our state that I just didn't need to go to Nashville anymore. They have sent, like, I've recorded every original song that I've ever put out has been recorded right here in Louisiana. Now, they might have sent it to Nashville to be mastered or mixed or something like that and then come back. But ultimately, I just got to the point to where I'm like, why do I need to go to Nashville? Everything is just here in Louisiana, and technology keeps progressing. Everything's just getting better and better. I just don't need to go anymore. And all my shows are here. So before COVID, my wife and I had toyed with the idea about, do we need to move back there? Do we need to? I just didn't want to have one foot in and one foot out. I didn't want to live in Nashville and then come back to Louisiana for all of my shows. That was just going to be too hard on us as a couple. That I need to make ends meet, and then COVID hit, and that completely changed my life and everyone else's forever, So that kind of made the decision for me to stay here, provide for the family, and just try to focus on music here. And that's just what I've done over the past 5 years now.
I don't want to put you on the spot because I know that you'll 2 hours from now you'll be like, I forgot to mention so and so. But do you want to mention some of those guys that you just talked about in the studios and some of these musicians in Louisiana who are killer, who may not always get the name on the billboard, but you want to mention some of those guys while we're here?
Absolutely. Look, that's kind of the thing, because a lot of these people, I might be the face of everything, but they're the body of the whole structure, So these guys, my guitar player, JD White, is probably one of the best that I've ever seen or heard of in this area. He just is. He's phenomenal at everything he does, and he's been with me now going on 10 years. So he's always been my guitar player for acoustic, for electric, for anything like that. These guys that you could put on some of these, especially that you work with every weekend, is always a blessing. My keyboard player, Greg Fuquay, has played with everyone in the industry, and can play horns, play keys, it doesn't matter. He's just one of those phenomenal musicians.
One of those guys.
One of those guys. Those guys aggravate me sometimes.
You just look at it, like, golly, man.
And it's annoying. I'm like, y'all, work on it a little bit, but they just know how to do it automatically. So it's a little bit ridiculous. But our last, I tell you, we recorded something at Disc Productions with our good friend Joey, who is he is the bass player for a band called LaRue out of Louisiana. LaRue, Orleans Ladies, those guys. Yeah. Disc Productions has
slow dance to that one many nights.
Yes, many times.
With my beer goggles on.
Absolutely.
No telling what I was slow dancing with.
Well, it doesn't matter when you got something like that playing. It just in the end, it's okay. But some of these guys, man, have phenomenal, setups and studios, and you're exactly right. I'm drawing a blank on everybody that I know I'm going to be pissed off.
You got Dockside down in the Lafayette area, down in
down there. Their studio in the country in Bogalusa. That's recorded many hits, and all kind of stuff has come out of there. But it's just a great place for music, and like I say, nowadays with technology, you can record something here, send it to Nashville if you need to, and try to put it out. And I still have friends that are musicians that still go to Nashville to record. There's no harm in that whatsoever. I'm not talking down on that. It just for me personally, I just didn't want to go back and forth. I wanted to stay in Louisiana. This is where I wanted to record, and this is where I wanted to do my music and put my songs out, and that's what I did.
Yeah, I love it, man. I got 2 or 3 more. I always try to keep it around an hour out of respect for my guest and the and the fans. But I got a couple more, and Leanne says Amber is awesome too. She brings the fire, and I know you want to mention her because I see you guys on the stage on social media. She sounds amazing, dude.
Amber changed our sound.
Yeah,
in the best way, in the absolute best way. Not only do we have a phenomenal female vocalist now in the band that can do harmonies, backups, she is probably the sweetest person that you've ever met in your entire life. So it brings a whole new aura to the band of just a bunch of guys, and now you have this gorgeous, lady, a powerhouse vocalist that can just come in and is just probably the sweetest angel that has ever graced the stage, and it's an honor to sing with her. Yeah, it is. She changed our sound tremendously.
Yeah, I listen to you guys whenever you post stuff, and it's great, man.
Well, now we can do duets and things like
Yeah,
that we couldn't do
hmm
before. So people appreciate that. Yeah, they love it.
yeah. Let's see. We'll do three more.
Yeah.
Best piece of advice that someone's given you about being an artist or the music business in general.
Don't change. Be who you are. And I know that sounds generic. Stay true to yourself. I was never tear in your beer, cowboy hat, tight jeans, belt buckle country. That was just not me. I tried that very, very early on, and although I love George Strait, Alan Jackson, Merle Haggard, um, my country was more Garth Brooks. I loved the energetic showmanship of that kind of stuff. So I've been told that you need to be more country or you need to be less country or you know whatever. I was just kind of somewhere in the middle. I like cut off shirts and holy jeans and earrings and tattoos but I love to sing country music. So I've been told to just be who you are and people will recognize that on stage and gravitate towards that and they'll appreciate it. And you can tell the difference when I'm going through the motions on stage because I have had times where I was sick or whatever and I just have to get through this show so I can go to sleep or go but and you can tell the difference that I'm going through the motions and I'm really enjoying it and I really enjoy what I do on stage. So be true to who you are. Don't try to change to who you think people want you to be.
I think that's good advice for life in general, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it does. It fits in all aspects of life. I just music style to me is more southern rock country, and you can call that whatever genre you want. I just that's what I enjoy. That's what I like to write. That's what I like to sing. It's what I like to perform to. So that's my style.
Yeah, I love it, dude. Kendall Schaefer over here says Chase
Yeah.
runs a tight ship and his band and team are top notch. Very proud of him and proud to call them friends.
Yes.
Kendall's got a great new tune out that we promoted on here that we mentioned, and the I killed a six pack.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great song.
I love Kendall, man.
I can relate to it because I've killed a couple
A
myself,
few.
so I can relate to that. Kendall, we'll have to get you on the show, man. We'll have to get. I don't know if I've met Kendall officially. I know who he is,
Yeah.
and I've heard nothing but great things. But I think I've been around him a few times, but I don't know if I've like officially hung with him. But we'll definitely have
Kendall's
to get you on the show,
Yeah,
Kendall.
he was just inducted into the
Yeah,
the Hall of Fame.
we
Just
shared that
yeah,
on the news as well.
yeah,
Yeah, we
absolutely. Yeah,
follow everybody, man. We do our
we
best.
appreciate that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Kendall's awesome, man. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, brother.
yeah. He's been on here quite a few times, commenting and supporting
Yeah,
other artists. That's what I love to see, man.
yeah.
Is the artist
Support.
supporting other artists? I truly believe, man. I wouldn't put as much time and effort as I do into this if I didn't see a vision of a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, Louisiana just being like this, all of us working together, and it's just like this
Absolutely,
family. And not saying there won't be problems, but I mean, just working together. And like we
absolutely.
talked about these studios, these venues, man, we could do something special here if we all work together, man. So
I agree. I agree.
I
Support
love
one.
all of that.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. We appreciate that.
Um, Second question, winding down.
Yeah, yeah,
What do you hope? Me and you sit here and talk all night.
yeah.
Uh,
I know
what
it's easy to get lost in it for sure. Yeah.
what do you hope 2026 has in store for Chase Tyler as an artist?
Oh man, that's a great question. Um, You know, I always try to do better than I did the year before. Okay, and that whatever that means. Does that mean I add more PA, more lights, more musicians, more bigger show? Do I spread out more? I just don't know. I always try to go a little bit bigger than I did the year before. If we can, we have some shows coming up. We'll be in Washington D.C. in January for the Mardi Gras Ball, Louisiana, live. I have some stuff coming up with the Saints. I'm going to do the national anthem for the Saints, the Pelicans, LSU basketball, women's basketball, soccer. You know, so it's always an honor to be able to do those kind of things, and each year is new because some shows you do that are the same. We get the same shows in a fair festival that'll rebook us, you know, for the next year, and then some will come and I'm like, I've never heard of this venue, I've never heard of this festival, and you go there and it's huge, it's phenomenal, and I'm like, Louisiana has still has some surprises left for us, I think. You know, we haven't been everywhere yet. So until we do, I'm just going to keep going, man, and just keep doing what we do. And hopefully we can keep doing the same thing we're doing next year.
Last question before I get you out of here, man.
Sure.
Since we're talking, I see my man Kevin Burke on there.
Yeah.
He's working with us, and he's a great connector with brands and all of this. And we're talking about the Louisiana Bourbon Festival, and we're going to give away 2 pairs of 2 tickets. I guess pair does mean 2, so 2 pairs of tickets.
Yeah.
All you have to do is write your favorite song about bourbon or whiskey in the comments. Again, if it's a Louisiana artist, you get 2 entries. So I'm gonna throw you on the spot right here.
Okay.
I'm not gonna ask you for one. Top 3 songs. It doesn't have to be Louisiana. Top 3 songs about bourbon or whiskey.
Oh man.
I'll let you think. I'll let you think. Because I asked myself this question earlier, and I was like, man, that's a tough one.
Oh man. Okay. Top 3 songs about whiskey. So I mean.
Well, I said if I ask him one, he could just say Whiskey River or something. You know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be in the
that's
title,
easy.
but I want you to think. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
We ask the hard hitting questions around here, man.
You do, yeah. Whiskey. Look, I know this is more current. Whiskey glasses. Would that count?
That counts. It's your top 3
song.
It's
That's
your
a
top
fun
3
song, you know.
It's a great one.
Oh man. Okay, now they're coming to me. So Walker Red. And man, Merle Haggard. What is the Merle Haggard song? I should be shot. That's a shame. I can't recall it right now.
The Merle, Misery and Gin.
Misery and Gin.
Misery and Gin. There we go.
Yes. Okay.
That's a great one.
Here
That's
I
a great one.
Sipping Misery and Gin. Of course, that's not really about whiskey or bourbon, but
you're cheating, man. Come on now.
We're gonna call it close. Man, you're gonna have to give me some help. I know a million of them.
I thought of one earlier that I loved, and I see Alex put it in the comments too, dude. And you can't use this one though. It's Gary Allen. It ain't the whiskey, man. That's a killer. That's a killer.
Okay. Okay. So speaking of Gary Allen, well, that was "Don't Tell Mama I Was Drinking."
That's a great one too.
That's just you know.
Whiskey Benton Hillbound. Look at Kevin throwing in one of my songs, Swamp Assassin. I'll give you $20 later, Kevin. I appreciate that.
Boy, you ain't lying. Jack Daniels, if you please.
Lindsay says drinking dark whiskey.
Drinking dark whiskey. David Allen Coe's Jack Daniels, if you please.
They're rolling in on the comments now.
Yeah, I know they're rolling.
You got 2 though. You got to solidify your 3rd.
What about Dust on the Bottle? That's about that's about wine though. That's
you've cheated on 66% of your answers here.
About beer and
now I see why they didn't let you back to school. You're cheating already.
School was never for me. And when we get off, I'll have a million of them that'll start popping in my head.
You at like at 2 in the morning, you're gonna be like sending me a text of damn it.
That's right. They're gonna start popping in.
I'm gonna wake up in the morning to 9 whiskey songs. they're rolling in the comments now. You have to go back and look at these.
I'm gonna have to go back and think about it, man. Dude,
this is a good one from a Louisiana boy that Kevin just popped in. Jesus Wouldn't Do from Jordan Davis. Have you heard that one?
No.
Oh man, do yourself a favor. When you get off of here, go turn on Jesus Wouldn't Do. It's Jordan Davis from Shreveport, another Louisiana boy.
Jordan
Whiskey
Davis.
Lullaby, one bourbon,
Whiskey
one
Lullaby.
scotch with beer. So many, man. I don't want to torture you here, but I figured that would be I figured I'd have a little fun with that one.
And I'm like, man, why didn't I say that? Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
I'm gonna let you slide, even though you cheated on 66% of them. You nailed the first one, and then it just went off the rail after that.
Man. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, man. We'll let you come back on another time and make up for that.
We'll
let you come back with a full list. That's right.
Absolutely.
Well, brother, we appreciate you coming on, man, and just great talking to you. Let me make sure I got my notes in front of me. All right, I'm ready. Make sure I'm ready for the close. Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on, dude, and we really do have to do this more, man. I want you guys to contribute to what we're doing. I want you guys to text and call with ideas and anywhere that we can help, or any ways that you think you can help. What we're doing here is we're truly building this community of Louisiana artists, fans, venues, studios, anything that we could do to lift this thing, man. Why can't we be Texas? You know what I mean?
I agreed. They have a very, very nice community of musicians that just live in Texas and rotate through all that. They do seem to help each other out quite a bit. So I agree 100%, bro. We absolutely can.
Well, let's keep it rolling, brother. This is you guys coming on and being a part of this helps continue us to get it all around the state and beyond. So I appreciate it. And
absolutely. Well,
I'll talk to you soon, man. I'll be down in Baton Rouge for that songwriter show at Manship that I was talking about.
Man, yeah.
In a couple of weeks, and maybe I'll pop over to Boots and Bayou, and I'll see you there.
Yeah, y'all come hang, bro. We'd love to have you guys. Yeah, it's gonna be a killer lineup. So
so
for sure.
Sounds great, brother. Well, you take care of the family, man, and we'll see you soon, man.
Thank you, buddy. Y'all take care.
Thank you again.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys. Thank y'all for hanging on. That's amazing. Over 30 people all night on here. You guys could be doing anything that you in the world on a Tuesday night, and for an hour and 15 minutes you sat here and listen to us talk about Louisiana country music. This just shows that people are interested, and man, I'm so grateful for people like Chase coming on here, sharing their stories. So much amazing talent in Louisiana. So thank you to Chase, and again, I say this every week, but thank you to the fans. You guys are the driver behind what we're doing with this movement. Without you guys, we got nothing. So I say this before I close. I say Lance and Christy said, I'm going to hire a wino. That's a great song too, man. I'm going to hire a wino to decorate our home. So thank y'all for participating. It's so fun when you guys are in the comments. Thank y'all so much. We hope you enjoyed the show. If so, make sure to tune in every Tuesday night at 7. Check out our website. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless all the Louisiana folks out there. Best fans in country music, and we're going to make it even better. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next Tuesday night right here on Louisiana Country Music Live.